welcome back to Jurassic Park Minute. Jurassic Park Minute is the fan podcast that chronicles and overanalyzes the classic 1993 film Jurassic Park. I'm Kyle.
I'm Brady.
And today we're here to bring you minute number 15. Happy Monday, Brady. How are you doing today?
Doing good. How about you?
I'm doing pretty great, man. Did you have a nice weekend?
I did. Very nice weekend. Got to watch Jurassic Park all the way through again, and just kind of getting some more notes together and just kind of redeveloping the way I see this movie.
How often do you find yourself rewatching one of these movies when you're doing a minute-by-minute podcast?
Honestly, with Ghostbusters, it really wasn't... I don't know how long it was that we have been doing the Ghostbusters Minute show, but I don't think I've seen it. Maybe once in there. Jurassic Park is something I actually do kind of watch on a regular basis. I'll have a friend over, something like that, and we'll do like a movie night. And I have a big projector set up with surround sound in my house.
Oh, yeah. I remember one time we set that thing up outside, and you hooked it up to some pretty big stereo speakers.
Huge.
And we had that thing cranked up all the way. And I cannot believe the cops weren't called on us. When the Tyrannosaurus came out, it was noticeable around the block.
You could hear it echoing down the street.
That's right.
I mean, you could hear the roar just banging off of the houses and everything. It was it was something else. The first time that I had tested out the speakers in my home theater inside my house, the first time I think it was the Brachiosaurus goes to roar or something like that. He goes to do it. He starts and then all the sound cuts out of the entire
right at the opportune time.
So I had to get like all new wiring done for the speakers and everything. So
yeah.
But no, yeah. To answer your question, this is a movie that it just does not get old for me.
Yeah.
I find myself watching it at least, I don't know, a handful times a year. How about you?
Yeah, I haven't watched it all the way through yet. To why we've been doing this podcast. I did watch Ghostbusters at least twice while we were doing it. But when you're doing one of these, you're watching it minute by minute. It's really you're reviewing this material on an almost semi-regular basis to make notes and things like that, and notice little things that are going on in the background. But I don't find myself really watching it as one cohesive piece. But I don't find myself... I like Jurassic Park quite a bit, but it's not a once-a-year type movie for me like something like Alien would be.
I mean, speaking of Alien Minute is about to retire.
That's right, yeah.
And in, I think, the next couple days. So... that's a bummer. Yeah. And, as sad as I am to see it go, Aliens Minute is on its way.
It's kind of cool, too. You and I have gotten into, since we've been in the Movie by Minute podcast family, there's some forums online that we talk to other guys who are doing shows like this. But I'll say the future looks very bright if you're a fan of this format of podcasting or this kind of movie analyzation format. There's some really cool stuff coming in 2017. I don't think it's stopping anytime soon.
Yeah.
But it's really cool to get the family of people that do these Movie by Minute podcasts. It's a very open community. It's a very supportive, kind of like there's a lot of questions being asked, like, hey, how do you do this on your show? Or what are your feelings on this? And likewise, I want to say that the fans of Jurassic Park out there who have been contacting us on Twitter or on our Facebook group have been very supportive as well.
Yeah.
I will say so far the Jurassic Park fan community has been very kind to us, and we hope to continue to provide a show that people enjoy. So if you like the show, please do let us know through any form you can contact us. And if you think there's something we could do better, let us know as well. But hey, you ready to get into minute number 15 of Jurassic Park?
Let's do it.
Awesome. In the previous minute, we were introduced to Lewis Dodson, head of research at Biosyn, a competing company with InGen. Dodson met InGen's lead computer programmer, Dennis Nedry, at a cafe in San Jose, ready to conduct industrial espionage. At minute number 15, Dodson continues to show Nedry his contraption for stealing the dinosaur embryos. Nedry is thrilled with the device. At 15:06, Dodson explains the crucial time frame of getting the embryos off the island. Nedry ignores him by spraying shaving cream onto his hand, which he proceeds to wipe onto a slice of pie. At 15:17, Nedry sternly informs Dodson that his contact on the boat will have to be ready by 7 p.m. sharp. At 15:22, Nedry explains that by the time he is done, Biosyn will have beat out InGen in the race to clone dinosaurs. At 15:25, Nedry's bill comes to the table. He glances at Dodson, implying that he must pay for lunch. Dodson reaches for his wallet. At 15:30, Nedry tells Dodson not to get cheap on him. That was Hammond's mistake. At 15:37, we cut to a helicopter flying over a beautiful blue ocean as we are introduced to a new character. At 15:50, Dr. Ian Malcolm asks Grant and Ellie if they dig up dinosaurs. Grant annoyingly replies with a, "We try to." And thus ends minute number 15 of Jurassic Park. All right, so in that minute, we have the introduction of Dr. Ian Malcolm there at the very end, but I want to talk a little bit about the beginning of the minute, which is where Dodson brings out the Barbasol can and shows it to Nedry. Anytime you go shopping for shaving cream and you see a Barbasol can, are you not reminded of the scene in
I
Jurassic
get
Park?
that one every time, and if they don't have it, I don't buy shaving cream that day.
Yeah.
Every time it's got to be the red and blue and white striped can. Yes.
You know, we're not exactly endorsed by any group
Yeah,
out
right,
there,
doesn't
but I
sound
would
like it.
say that Barbasol is definitely a shaving cream that I have used throughout my life in that exact same blue and red and white striped can, and that stuff does not run out ever.
Yeah.
You know, when Dodson tells him, like, it has to be 7 p.m. sharp, there's only so much coolant in there, I want to go, oh, don't worry about it. That
Yeah.
thing's going to last you for 2 years.
Yeah, I used
don't
one
worry
for
about it.
a year or more.
Yeah.
But no, whenever Jurassic World came out, Barbasol was one of the sponsors, and they re-released that can, but they had like little bits of information and trivia on it and everything like that, and pictures of the pterodactyls and stuff. But they had a commercial where they showed the Barbasol can laying in the mud with the water running on it, and would say something like something has survived or something dramatic like that. So it was really neat to see that. We'll get back to the Barbasol stuff later on when Nidri loses it, but I got some thoughts on that. But no, yeah, the Barbasol can, it really stands out. It's such a cool design. I'm glad they went for that look. But this scene does a really good job of character building. We see a couple of different shades of Nidri. We see him being like just the goofball who's just overly excited by the contraption that Dodson's made, and then of course the actual shaving cream that comes out when he wipes on the piece of pie. But he immediately goes into the spy, the just incredibly egotistical guy who's make sure your guy in the dock has it right. He's got to be there by such and such time, and really running the show. And then by the end of the scene, when he's saying, which we'll get into in a minute, that don't get cheap on me, that was Hammond's mistake. You see a lot of different shades of this character in this performance, and they just kind of snap right out of one another.
Right.
It's a very cool performance.
Can I talk about my favorite scene in the entire movie?
Please do.
It's when Nidri wipes the shaving cream onto the pie.
Do you think he ate it?
So good.
I know.
It looks so good. I had Mexican tonight, and I had pie, and I didn't once think of this scene. I had key lime pie and flan at a Mexican restaurant. So anyway, I just wanted to mention that because
Nice.
it was so good.
Cool. I also really like what Cameron Thor is doing with the character of Dodson. There's a lot of moments where you see him do some subtle stuff where he's getting frustrated with Nidri, who's not listening, and he's just sort of like trying to repeat facts really quickly to get it across to Nidri, who I'm almost calling Newman. But
Do you think the line is improv? What, no menthol?
it sounds like it.
When he's talking about it, because
Yeah.
it seems the way that Dodson is saying his line, he throws in what no menthol, and then he kind of like stumbles over coming back to him. He recovers fine. It's very fluid, and it's like a real conversation when you see him say that. But I always felt like that what no menthol line was like something that Wayne Knight just kind of threw out there because it was kind of funny.
Yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely. It's a funny scene.
Yeah.
And they're getting across some of the most important information we've seen so far in the movie. Because this is sort of where everything that goes wrong in this movie, the whole breakdown of the park, this is where it all begins, right here, is in this meeting. And the fact that, Biosin, which I don't even think they call Biosin. They just say your company catches up on 10 years of research.
Yeah, they don't mention Bison at all.
Yeah.
I don't even think they say Engine by name in this movie, but you see the logo.
Yeah, and so that's all you're given. But we're seeing the germination of the entire conceit of the movie, which is this park is gonna fail. It's gonna break
Right.
down. It's gonna be this lard ass's doing, and this is why. And it's all wrapped up in one brief, subtle scene where you're given so little and yet so much. It's a cool scene. It's a really cool scene.
So they shoot this in California, or they shoot it in Hawaii?
This was in Hawaii.
Okay. Because it looks just like, I mean, I buy it as Costa Rica. I know that they dressed up this little like tiki bar or whatever it was there on the probably north shore of Oahu as a Costa Rican restaurant out there on the shore, but I buy it completely,
Yeah.
as if it's just like a little market with like a restaurant there. And I
mean,
want to
it's-
eat there so bad.
The music, the extras in the background.
Yeah.
It all works.
So about half of this minute, there's actually not a whole lot of dialogue. The last like 20 seconds is just the helicopter interior shot where we see Ian Malcolm just kind of sitting there across from Grant and Ellie. But we don't get a whole lot other than him going like, so you two dig up dinosaur
Yeah,
bones, kind of
right.
like, I can't tell if he's actually, it's the way Goldblum plays the character, but I can't tell if he's actually belittling what they do
you know-
as compared to what he does.
I don't think so. I think he's a nice guy. I think he's genuinely interested in what they are. He's just awkward.
Yeah.
And I think you can tell that he's just sort of like a kind of bright and cheerful person, and kind of a delight to be around, because you see him later when Grant
He's
can't-
delightful, let me tell you.
There
I
you
wouldn't
go.
get tired of that personality at all.
Yeah. Okay. Good point.
All right, awesome. Well, that's pretty much all the notes I think that I have on this minute. You got anything else?
No, that's it for me.
Okay, awesome. So, folks, thank you so much for joining us today for minute number 15. Tomorrow we'll be here with minute number 16, and we'll get a little bit further into who the Ian Malcolm character is, who is this mysterious mathematician in black on this helicopter, and what does he want to do with this island. And hopefully we can try to decipher a little bit of what chaos theory is. Don't worry, it'll be a laughable experience. So, all right, folks, I'm Kyle.
I'm Brady.
And we're here to remind you, until next time, hold on to your butts.
Jurassic Park Minute is a fan-supported podcast. If you like the podcast, then leave us a review on iTunes. You can contact us at JurassicParkMinute@gmail.com and visit us online at JurassicParkMinute.com, Facebook.com/Jurassic Park Minute, and Twitter.com/Jurassic Minute.